Like most everybody out there, I was very upset at the fact that 18 children, 19 children, 2 adults lost their lives in Uvalde to an evil doer, a shooter who invaded the school and took those innocent lives. And I asked myself, why did the police not intervene earlier? Why was there shooting going on for 40 minutes from within the school? And I try to put myself into the perspective of the police. There's no excuse for it. Let me say that. They should all be fired for lack of bravery. But where does that cowardice stem from? What is the agent that catalyzes such a precipitate in this anti-police environment where you've denigrated officers for trying to do their job? You've turned them entirely risk-averse, where it is not worth policing for fear that you're going to make a mistake, for fear that you will be castigated on national media, imprisoned in jail for taking an action that you thought was going to be the correct one at the time. And with that, you've also lost officers on the task force that were actually good, that would stand up for something, that would want to intervene when people are burning down businesses. But because the higher-ups, basically in the Democratic Party, in the cities, in the national government, gave the okay and even bailed out rioters in Minnesota, Kamala Harris, thank you very much, who were arrested for violence and for perpetrating acts of aggression and burning down buildings, etc., whatever their crimes might have been. The police feel that they have little support. And if you're a good cop, if you have other options, if you don't want to be under the boot of such policymakers, then you quit. And these are generally the people that will, like Dakota Meyer, the Marine who received the Medal of Honor from President Obama, who defied orders from his military superiors and went into Taliban territory as they were attacking Afghan soldiers, American soldiers, in an attempt to rescue them, and nearly gave his life in doing so, and still managed to rescue that would have otherwise certainly perished Afghan soldiers, American soldiers, even though those who he specifically went in for had in fact died. This is the type of person that did so because he believed in something beyond himself, because he believed in something bigger, because he believed in camaraderie. And today we have a society that has turned much more selfish, where everybody just cares about number one, rather than about their family, about their community, about society in general. And unfortunately, the cops that would care have been castigated and kicked out of the force, fired, for those who would dare to stand up to somebody telling them, like the cop that gave $25 to Kyle Rittenhouse, who was exposed via a hack and was then subsequently fired. I believe it was in Virginia, where you're not even able to speak your political mind. The force of this mind-numbingly, seemingly communist authoritarianism that is making all police out to be evil. Why do the job? You've been demoralized. And there's no excuse for what they did. There's no excuse for not having gone in there. And I believe that in the past, more people would have acted and behaved as the previously mentioned Dakota Meyer, as the Marine. None of those cops are receiving a Medal of Honor. They are receiving a Medal of Dishonor. And the person that ultimately went in there was a border security guard whose wife and child, I believe, were in the school. And he borrowed a rifle from his barber and went and shot and killed this evildoer who shot up the school. But again, I just wonder how the police were stopping other parents from going in there, and federal marshals were putting them in handcuffs. It's because individual autonomy is no longer allowed. The ability to decide for ourselves, the sense of cohesiveness that we have as a society. And this is largely a result, again, of the left demoralizing us, the left subverting our institutions. And it's being done intentionally because this is the long march through the institutions that's been advocated for by communists. The subversion of our institutions and our society, as told by Yuri Bezmenov, a former KGB agent who tried to employ such tactics around the West and then came over to our side. left the Soviet Union and warned us of the way that they were doing things. But it's all coming to fruition, and it's just these cops are merely a symptom of this larger plot against the West. I'm sorry, that's just a very likely manifestation of such actions, and we are seeing them today in the cowardice, in the lack of accountability, in the lack of individualism by these police. To be asked to stand down while your children are getting shot and to actually tase parents that wanted to go in, to put them in handcuffs, as I have heard took place, is also cowardice and evil in action. I'm somebody who normally has a lot of sympathy for the police, even though I have been arrested wrongfully and put in handcuffs and questioned for hours for something that I did not do by not so bright people that could not figure it out very easily that I was not the suspect that they wanted. So despite this, I recognize that it's a difficult job. But when you don't go into a school where you have an active shooter, where they've shot at you, it is because you have fear, because maybe somebody told you, or because you've been demoralized and you don't want to take the personal risk. And it is the dissolution of our society. If you disagree, if you agree with me, leave it in the comments section. And thumb up this video, subscribe, hit the all notification bell. Peace out. Have a great day.